Good morning, folks. It is Nick Mulbauer here, and I'll get straight to the point. I'm gonna go try to catch some crappie this morning. We've just had unbelievable winds this spring, and it's been really hard to get a calm day to kind of easily cast and make it less of a hassle to fish for crappie. Out here on this body of water, I'm going to cast at some submerged cover. A lot of action on the surface, a lot of shad feeding, I believe. But yeah, I was intending on doing that, and if there was no crappie bite, I was going to maybe try to go catch some bluegill on another body of water. I may still do that, but then I realized I grabbed my wrong kayak and I don't have the mount for my fish finder. So yeah, I was gonna hopefully just scan around for some schools of bluegill, but we have a plan B still. If the crappie aren't biting, I'll still try to maybe go catch some bluegill, and if I decide not to do that, I might go try to catch some smallmouth bass. So we're gonna cast out. I'm gonna see if we can find some crappie, so stay tuned and hopefully we can get on a few. Here, folks, there's crappie number 2. I gotta tell you guys, I've been out here for an hour and a half. This is my second one in probably 5-10 minutes. Nothing impressive, but here's the deal today. There's ice building up on my rod tip this morning, so that gives you an idea of how cold it is. I do not know what the water temp is. I'm assuming it's in the mid to upper 40s, but the air temperature is probably 30-31 degrees out. And what I found out this morning is that I'm having to let my jig go into that brush pile. It's got to be deep in it. And yeah, I know how last crappie video I said I was reeling slow. Well, today I'm reeling even slower to get a bite. Just kind of the deal with it being cold. But they're down there, they're in there, and they're tough to catch this morning. But that's just how it goes sometimes when it's cold. This spring has been pretty brutal. There's been very few nice days. So when the weather's tough, the fishing can be tough as well. But we're gonna be patient. We're gonna try our patience today and see if we can pull a few more out of the wood. Hopefully we'll maybe catch a nice one. Alright guys, that worked out. Well, I'll bring you up to speed here once I get this hook out. Alright. Hey, bring you up to speed here. So, as I mentioned, it is cold out here this morning, and ice is collecting on my rod tip, as I mentioned earlier, with the crappie I caught. And I fished another half hour for crappie. And to my knowledge, and this is my opinion, when the temperatures are 40 or below on open water, crappie is just tough to catch for me. And I have no idea what the water temp is today, but it is pretty chilly. I'm numb right now. My toes and fingertips are numb, so I decided to cut my losses, and I was like, you know, I seem to have a better bite with smallmouth in cold weather than I do crappie. So being it's so cold, I decided to hang it up with the crappie, grabbed another rod, and I fished a paddle tail for a sec, a 4-inch paddle tail, and then I put on 3-inch gulp minnow, and that was probably about third cast with that gulp minnow, that smallmouth right there. So I don't have a lot of time this morning. It's Easter, so happy holidays, and I have a family gathering to get to a little later today, so I don't have a lot of time this morning. So I decided the crappie bite was so slow. I caught 2, and you know, I couldn't pull any more out of there after fishing it another half hour, and I said, let's go catch some smallmouth. Let's go try. And there it was. So we're gonna paddle around, you know, do kind of a combination of just dragging the bait on the bottom, or you know, dragging in little light hops. It is cold, so I'm not being too crazy about my presentation. I'm not doing anything too aggressive, just slow dragging it on the bottom. And normally I fish a larger profile bait, but you know, I'm kind of that guy who will downsize in cold weather. That's a 3-inch gulp minnow, and that fish bit in the same spot I threw that paddle tail many times. So we're gonna paddle around, see if we can't pick up another 1 or 2 before the day's out. So stay tuned here. Hopefully we'll catch another bronze back. Alright folks, well, it ain't a smallmouth, but I'll take a largemouth too. Oh, he is in the meat. Got to reach down for some pliers if I can feel for him without too much issue. Maybe not. Well, alright, let's get our pliers out. So much stuff down here. Tell you what, there it is. Okay, get him unstuck. Another bass on that 3-inch Berkeley gulp minnow. Those things catch anything. Those gulp minnows really catch fish. Anyways, there we go. A little largemouth there. It's a little fella. Get him back. Took me a while to unstick him, so I want to get him back quick. But that was just another fish on that 3-inch gulp minnow. Threw that real shallow. He was in between some rocks. So, and he bit pretty light. He trailed it for a bit. He didn't crush it. I thought maybe it was a twig or something at first, and then it stuck around, so I set the hook on him. Despite the cold, on this body of water, these fish will kind of hold up a bit shallower than I would think, as long as there's a little bit of cover, some rock or a stump or some type of little bit of cover to hold them there. They'll just sit on it, wait for a 3-inch gold minnow to go by. But yeah, not bad. I know Ben was out fishing yesterday, and I think he'll hopefully have a video for you guys too. And he did pretty good on the bass from what I heard. But we'll keep at it and just slow roll this little jig. See if we can't catch another one. I'm glad I made the switch from crappie, because those crappie were not having it. I've already caught up. I've been here way less time, and I've already caught as many bass as I've caught crappie this morning. Sometimes you just gotta switch gears. Try to make the most of the day, even though I really wanted to catch some crappie. I just kind of had that gut feeling that it wasn't gonna work out, so I switched up my plan. I saw the line jump there. That was awesome. Boy, he's really running towards shore. This is a big fish. Oh, where's he at? Where's he going? I hope it's not a carp. I feel like that was a hit. Maybe it's a catfish. Might be a channel cat. Hopefully I'll at least get a look at him. It's a big fish, guys. Big fish. Oh yeah, it's a big channel cat. Definitely. Saw the tail. Well, if he breaks me off, I won't be bummed. If it was a state record, smallmouth would be. Yeah, it's a big channel cat, guys. Big channel. Big old channel cat on the 3-inch gold minnow, guys. I told you those fish, or those lures, are catch-alls. My biggest catfish have come off of a 2.5-inch soft plastic gold minnow. This is the biggest catfish I've caught out of this body of water, for sure. Yep, chomp down on my hand, bud. Chomp it. There we go. We got him, and he's just ripping my hand to pieces. Let's switch hands. He's hurting my hand. Ouch. That son of a gun. They got a chomp, guys. Them catfish got a chomp. Gotta get my pliers. I don't know why I put it away. I'm dumb. Wasn't thinking there. There it is. Let's get a look at this guy. 3-inch Berkeley gold minnow, guys. Let's pick him up and look at him. Look at that. Oh, he's hurting my finger. We'll let him go. Big old channel cat, guys. Big old boy. Alright, he's biting my finger off. Let's get him back. Whew. My finger hurts. Ouch. I'm not ready for that when I'm out here bass fishing. Whew. They got a chomp, guys. Goodness. Alrighty. That was a fun fight. My back hurts from that. Oh, that was a lot of fun. Lot of fun fighting a fish. Boy, he just crumbled my finger. Just bit it. Bit it and shredded it. What a beautiful catfish, though. Healthy. That was a heck of a fight. Glad my leader knot held up. It's a good test on that knot. My goodness, my goodness. If I have any one complaint about these Berkeley gulp minnows, they catch fish like crazy. But the problem with them is the soft plastic they use is so soft, you know, it might only catch you one fish before you have to replace it. That's my only complaint. Well, I'm talking about what I'm doing here and trying to get my thumb to get some feeling in it after that catfish chomping on it. I don't really talk much about my rods or reels or line I use, but what I really like about this setup is I have a, pardon my bloody hand, I am not a guy who likes to spend tons of money, and I find that these Fluger reels are darn good. The Presidents are fantastic. I have no complaints about them. In my time using them, I've had them for a couple of years. I got Berkeley Fireline tied to 14-pound mono leader. I usually like to have a little bit more leader than that, but I got, you know, snagged and stuff, so it's a little bit shorter than I'm used to. But I usually have like a 18-inch leader on there to a 2-foot leader. Tied to Fireline. Love Fireline. It's really smooth casting. You can get a good cast out of it. It's strong. And for a rod, I'm used to, this is kind of a new rod to me. Mark Johnson out of Ames, he owns Skunk River Recon. There, you can see that there. And he's a local rod builder, and he agreed to let me field test some of his rods. So right now I got a 7-footer on. All of his rods that I use are made out of graphite, and I got another 5-footer for a crappie bite. But yeah, they're a little less limber than I'm used to. They got a harder end on them. They're pretty rigid through and through. But you know, that being said, this rod I particularly love paired with a braid or this Fireline where it's got no stretch with a leader, because that sensitivity is just, in my opinion, just super good. I saw that line bounce with that catfish before. I wasn't certain, but I assumed it was a fish, and as soon as I felt some weight on the back end of that, I just loaded it up and set the hook on him, and we had a fun fight there. But anyways, that's kind of my rod setup when I'm bass fishing usually. I have another rod that's a Fluger rod that has a lot more bend in the tip, but I really like this rod paired with a line that has no stretch. It's just a good pairing. So that's a rundown of my bass setup today. We'll get back to it. I only got a couple more minutes of fishing. That was a good fight, and I got to get going to family endeavors for Easter. So yeah, we'll see if we can pick one more up. If not, we got a decent smallmouth, a little largemouth, 2 crappie, and a nice big catfish. So a lot of fun. Good diverse outing today. A lot of fun. Feels like a small fish. This might be the last one of the day, guys. It's about time's up. Look at that terrible hook set. Hooked him on the bottom lip. How about that, guys? Maybe that's how we're gonna round out the day. God, it feels good feeling them crush it like that, though. Just feeling that line just go smack. A little smallmouth there, guys. That'll probably be the end of our day. I didn't think I was going to catch another fish because my time is very much wind down. So I'm fortunate to get that last one. What should we say about today? It's cold. It's just been I'm not certain, but I feel like it's been a colder than average spring this year than we've had in the last couple of years. It's been a lot colder. The nice days have been a lot fewer and further between, I believe. The warm weather we did have was in March, and it was enough to take the ice off the lakes, and we've had pretty much cold weather ever since, with a day or two of just good warmth followed by more instability. Just very unstable, very windy, and just pretty darn chilly. So like I mentioned earlier, our day started looking for crappie, and that didn't pan out. I had that feeling that crappie bite was just not going to pick up. I mean, the low last night was 30, and the high today is going to be 38, so there's not much room for warm up today. And those crappie had themselves buried pretty good in that brush, and it was hard to pull them out the way I was doing it. I didn't have the electronics to try to vertical jig them, so I thought, hey, let's cut our losses. I don't think crappie fishing's going to work out. Came over here to bass fish, caught 2 smallies, a largemouth, and that nice catfish. That still makes for an exciting day out. You know, I'm just happy to be fishing a day that isn't insanely windy out here. That alone makes it a good day, you know. So just fished the 3-inch gold minnow. I tried a paddle tail, didn't have much luck. Threw in the same spot with that 3-inch gold minnow and picked up a pretty decent sized smallie right when I got here. So yeah, we'll stay at it. Hopefully Ben's got a video coming for us too. I'm excited to see what his day was like yesterday. So like I mentioned last video, we're glad to be back and doing a few videos here and there, and we hope you all enjoy our videos. It's a lot of fun, you know, making them. It's a lot of fun editing them. It's just, you know how life is. We all have a lot of different responsibilities, so we'll make them when we can and put them out when we can. So we really appreciate y'all watching our videos. And we hope you guys enjoy fishing as much as we do. I'm sure you do if you're watching YouTube videos of fishing. It takes a certain kind of passion for fishing to watch it on YouTube, I would say. So you guys take care, and hopefully very soon we'll get that warm-up, that spring warm-up we're all waiting so much for. I think the bite will really turn on and get exciting in a couple weeks here. So have a good one, guys. Happy holidays, and we'll see you next time.